unlocked from day one. So yes, mascot mode is officially coming back for College Football 27. But I think if you're
Oh, and about mascot mode, I'm not gonna lie. I can care less about mascot mode, but I am also one of those people who not gonna be like everybody else and be like, man, fuck mascot mode. They need to do this, they need to do that, they need to put this in the game. They need to, like, man, no. They need to cater to everybody, not just the MUT players, not just the dynasty players, not just the road to glory players. They need to cater to everybody. And there's people out there that love this mode. So it's good that they bringing it back. But me, I can care less.
buying both games anyway,
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy 8 Up the Casual, and we're back at it with another reaction video. So we're back with another Good Games World reaction. The biggest college football 27 at Madden 27 leaks. You already know it's about that time. College football come out next month, Madden in a couple months, so you know it's about that time where leaks and stuff like that finna come out. And of course we finna get a fucking huge trailer of a huge breakdown on both games in a couple of days. So can't wait. I know we complain about the game being ass, but at the same time, I still can't wait. Um, anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And that, let's get into the reaction.
College Football 27 and Madden 27 just had a massive leak. I'm talking about both covers with new modes, release windows, beta dates, features, all of it out in the open at once. And a lot of this is really exciting. It's the kind of stuff that I think a lot of us have been begging EA for since the series came back from the dead. But there's one thing buried in here that I cannot stop thinking about, and that's not in a good way. It might be the most concerning move that EA has made with this franchise in a very long time, and I don't really think that anybody is picking up on it just yet. But if you've been paying attention to social media, EA Sports has been talking about all of this releasing on June 4th. That's their big reveal date for both Madden and college football, and they've been talking about it for a minute, but this just really ruined a lot of that for them. Let's jump into it. Now, a lot of this came out from MUT Leaks, and they have been an unbelievably reliable source out there, so big shout out to them. But the Madden 27 Deluxe cover is officially showing up as Caleb Williams. He's doing his Iceman pose, arms
that right there kind of hard.
crossed. You know, it's a nice little nod to the celebration that we saw him emerging with last season. And I think what's actually interesting here is that this is the first time a Chicago Bear has ever been on the cover of Madden. Not a single one, and I had to go back to look it up to make sure, but Williams being on the cover is a real franchise moment for the Chicago Bears, and you know, it's good for him. The Bears need some relevancy again. Now, as for the Madden curse, I feel like that's been kind of gone by the wayside for a little bit. I'll do a video on that later.
Not really.
I would still knock on wood if I was a Bears fan. Now, the college football deluxe cover that we got is a group shot, and there's a whole lot of people in it. We're seeing Dante Moore from Oregon, Malachi Tony out of Miami.
I like this one too, but people gonna complain about it. I generally don't understand why, because it's not like motherfuckers are going and buying these physical copies anyway. I know some people still do. They got the PS5 to where they got the, you know, the disc track and shit, but the covers is not that big of a deal. To me, at least. I'm not gonna say about. I want to talk for everybody else, but to me, it's not that big.
Jaden Maeva from USC, Kwan Lacey, Leonard Moore from Notre Dame, Colin Simmons from Texas, and then front and center, a coach. Coach Kurt Signetti. And I'm just saying, if you've watched a lot of my videos in the recent past, I've talked a lot about how I think it would make a ton of sense for Signetti to be on the cover, maybe because he used to coach at JMU, but I think it was a big decision for them, and I'm glad they did it. I'm seeing a lot of different reactions across social media here, from people saying this is awful, to some saying it's the best cover ever, to some people saying,
niggas gonna
has
complain
anyone learned how to use Photoshop to make these covers? I don't know. Where do you sit on it? Let me know in the comments below. But what's important here is that this is actually the deluxe cover for college football, and we don't actually know what the standard cover is going to look like. They've done a lot of sort of trio athletes before. They did a duo last year, but I would imagine they're going to do a trio this year. I could see guys like Malachi Tony, Dante Moore, and Arch Manning being on that standard cover. But I do think it is weird that Arch Manning is not on this deluxe.
Man, fuck Arch Manning. That nigga, boy, I swear for God, boy, he is the most overrated fucking quarterback ever. Because his last name is Manning. That's it. Yeah, but I swear Arch is overrated. Like, he's not that good. I'm not saying he's ass, but he's not that good to be deserving all this type of hype and shit like that. If his last name wasn't Manning, nobody give a fuck about it. Especially how he played last year, the inconsistency.
Cover that's leaked out anywhere. And he's a guy that EA is obviously wanting to be a major part of what they've done, but he's nowhere to be found. So that's why I'm thinking maybe they're saving him for the standard cover reveal. Maybe there's a reason he's off of it. I don't know, but not seeing Arch Manning on a
Probably
college
asking
football
for too
cover in
much. I told the boy, go
2026
fuck
just maybe
yourself.
do a little bit of a double take. Now with the covers out of the way, let's talk about the thing that kind of got me feeling some sort of way. Now with the leaks, we're seeing that EA is rolling out a new tier this year called the MVP Plus membership, and most of it is exactly what you would kind of expect. There's 7-day early access to both games, beta access to both, a monthly Ultimate Team pack, you get 12 total, so basically one every month, and every mascot in Mascot
They gonna make their money. That's one thing you can say about EA. No matter who own it, they gonna make their money, bro. They know niggas like myself is going to purchase this membership. It's the truth. Even the niggas who claim they hate it, they're going to purchase this membership to get the game early. Don't be out there listening to nigga man. No, I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale. No, you're not. You're getting the game early, bro, and it's okay. I understand you fronting for social media. It's fine.
matchup unlocked from day one. So yes, mascot mode is officially coming back for College Football 27. But I think if you're
Oh, and about mascot mode, I'm not gonna lie. I can care less about mascot mode, but I am also one of those people who not gonna be like everybody else and be like, man, fuck mascot mode. They need to do this. They need to do that. They need to put this in the game. They need to, like, man, no. They need to cater to everybody, not just the MUT players, not just the dynasty players, not just the Road to Glory players. They need to cater to everybody. And there's people out there that love this mode. So it's good that they bringing it back, but me, I can care less.
buying both games anyway and you already play Ultimate Team, this is unbelievably good value. There's really no complaints there. They also mentioned that it's going to include some progression points, so 150 Dynasty Coach points, which is up from the 100 you got last year, 500 Road to Glory skill points, 4 Superstar skill points in Madden, and I just want to be clear here, I don't really think these bother me as much as people might think. I mean, last year you could turn off the bonus points in Dynasty, which is exactly what you would do for an online league so that everybody's really just on an even level right there, and if that toggle was back, and I would imagine it almost certainly is, the points really here are a non-factor for people that don't want to actually use them. If you want to use them in your solo mode, who cares? But if you're playing in an online league and want to switch them off, I think that makes a lot of sense. But there is one line here that really bothered me a lot, and I don't feel like a lot of people are picking up on it, so I want to break this down for you guys. There is an exclusive Dynasty skill tree called Rainmaker, and from the way this page is reading, you only get Rainmaker if you have the membership. So think about what that really actually means here. EA could potentially be putting an actual piece of Dynasty, their flagship mode, the mode that brought the entire series back from the dead, behind a paywall. And this is an Ultimate Team where
If that is only, I mean, if that ability is literally only for people who purchase that membership and shit like that to get the game and shit early and the beta and shit like that, that's some hoe shit. Why is you putting something in Dynasty behind the fucking paywall? It's not mud, bro. What are you doing? I understand. Y'all bought your money, y'all gonna make your money. But putting an ability tree behind a paywall in a free mode is crazy.
you are accustomed to doing that and it's already been just drilled in your brain to do it. This is Dynasty. That doesn't sit right with me. And it starts to get a little bit worse when you think about what Rainmaker could actually be from a skill tree perspective. My money is going to be on NIL from a skill tree because I think Rainmaker, making it rain, NIL money, that all kind of lines up. And we've had Reddit leaks for weeks pointing at NIL finally coming into recruiting. So if NIL was landing in Dynasty, that's one of the most requested features this whole community has really had. And it's incredible news. But if you're putting it behind a paywall membership, you've taken the best new toy in the mode and told a chunk of your players that they can't touch it, they can't play with it, and that's where I would call this anti-consumer, just plain and simple. Now, to be completely fair here, because I don't want to start a riot over a leak, it is entirely possible that Rainmaker is earnable in the game through coach points or challenges, and
Hopefully
the exclusive term that EA is
because if it's really literally only for the ones who purchased that membership, it's crazy. It'll piss a lot of people off with it.
here just means that members skip the grind and get it on day one. And if that's it, that is a minor annoyance, not a paywall. And I think the store page really does not make that clear, so this goes straight to the top of my list for questions for EA when they're doing their big reveal on June 4th. As long as you can earn it in the game, don't have a big deal. But if you can only get it through this membership, I think that is a massive issue. Now, real quick before we get into modes, because that's what most of you came here for, we are pushing towards 300,000 subscribers, and
Make sure
my
y'all
plan is
subscribe.
simple. I'm covering every single drop for both games
I've been
between now and
subscribed to
launch.
him for
I
years.
cover
His channel
sports
is
games
dope.
in an honest way where I get you the hype, I get you the red flags, I give it to you all. So if you want in one place, you can get all that without digging for it. Hit subscribe, and let's get back into the modes. Now, Dynasty is also touched on in another way for this league, and the store really only gives us this quote-unquote all-new Dynasty blueprint, which supposedly puts you in control of your program's future. I think that's pretty vague, but if you connect the
Hopefully, that means I can upgrade my damn stadium. Hopefully, that means I can upgrade my athletic facilities. I just want to upgrade my stadium. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm tired of rebuilding a small school. You know, I'm talking about winning 5 national championships with that school, and I'm still playing in a fucking high school stadium. I hate it. So hopefully that means we're able to upgrade our stadium and shit like that. Please. That's what that mode has been missing for quite some time.
or two with me, Kurt Signetti is on the cover. This is the guy who walked into Indiana, a program that was a punchline for decades, and went 27-2 with a national title in 2 seasons. So sticking him on the box right next to a feature called Dynasty Blueprint, I don't think that's an accident. My personal read here is that we're going to get more control over the rebuilds we're doing, dragging the bottom feeders up the mountain, but with steeper hills to climb to actually get there. And I think that a rebuild that actually feels like a rebuild instead of just 3 good recruiting classes and a trophy, that's what we kind of want here. And fingers crossed that EA builds it out instead of just slapping a name on a system we already have. But Signetti on the cover, I think, is a bigger deal than.
Congratulations! Special offer. Borrow $1,500 and pay $66 per month.
Can I apply for a loan with poor credit? Actually, yeah, you can. Just apply for a personal loan through this site right here. There's no need to go to a
people are making. Road to Glory is where I think it also gets interesting, and this is the line I'd circle. The store says new customization options and new positions as you build your player. New positions are something that people have just went crazy for.
As long as they add safety, edge rusher, tight end. For years now, I don't know. I don't understand why they completely removed the ability to make all those positions. As long as they bring back safety, tight end, edge rusher, and D tackle, I'm good. And offensive line.
The last couple of years, and rightfully so, because we've had the same positions for way too long. And if EA is truly finally opening up the position options, that is a real answer to a real complaint that all of us have basically had. And if you pair that with new equipment, which you've been hearing about from the one-leg sleeves and mouthpieces and other things that I've talked about in my previous videos, Road to Glory could quietly be a nice little glow up this year. But I think we need more than that in that mode if it truly is what we all want. And then we have mascot mashup being officially confirmed. I think people have wanted this for a long time. I don't think it is a mode that people will play hardcore, but it is one of those nice change of pace modes that you kind of hop on and play and enjoy, and it's a little chaotic. But notice the word collect. You don't collect things in a free mode. You collect them in a mode with unlocks, and we already know the membership hands you all 120 on day 1, so if you read between the lines here, there's probably some sort of grind or a wallet just kind of attached to getting them in a normal way. We'll see. I am very skeptical though. But then let's flip over to Madden really quick, because there are some interesting things here too, which I could argue are some of them might be in college football as well. The headline for franchise is something called the Persona Engine, which the store says gives every NFL athlete a very distinct personality that informs their motivations. And on paper, I think this is exactly what franchise has been missing. Players that feel like people, guys who want to be
Yeah. They also need to work on a damn scenario engine too, because I'm tired of getting the same 3-4 scenarios. If you're not gonna upgrade it, then I'm not gonna take it out the game. Just you legit just get the same ones, and then some of them don't work, like that OTA shit. They give you that shit at the beginning of the season for a rookie, and then in the middle of the season, they give you the same cutscene with the same lines being read. Like they need to upgrade that bad. But them adding that Persona engine will deeply help out franchise mode. It needs to actually start feeling like I'm running an NFL franchise. So niggas need to get mad because they're not getting playing time. Niggas need to decide, you know what, I'm gonna sit out since you don't want to give me a contract that I want. And guess what? It also should be like, well, if you're not gonna give me the contract I want, I'm gonna sit out until you trade me or cut me. Or simply give me the contract I want.
Guys who want to play with a guy they played with in college, or maybe they care how they're being used, or maybe they have an attachment to a particular coach. If EA nails it, franchise gets the soul that I think it has been desperately missing. But at the same time, we've heard a version of this pitch before. I mean, motivations already exist in the current game, and I think they're fine, they're serviceable, they give us a couple of things here and there, and they do directionally put players kind of along where they want to be. So I don't know if I'm fully buying the Persona engine off of one sentence little story blurb here. Show me a running back who pouts when he doesn't get his carries and then demands a trade, then I'm gonna get excited. And then on gameplay, the story lists more precise wide receiver and DB battles, new short yardage mechanics, and defensive coverage improvements. I think we hear about defensive coverage improvements every single year.
Exactly. I believe that when I see it. Because we hearing this shit every year. And then we get into the game, and our fucking DBs are just sitting there watching niggas catch the ball and then decide to react. Or I'm in match coverage and my curl flat is not matching a corner route. Or niggas glitching out my damn coverage. Or my deep blue just deciding that he gonna do whatever the fuck he want and not be where he's supposed to be. Or hard flats. It's not just hard flats. Anything with a flat in it does not work. So again, I believe that shit when I see it.
Some years they're great, and some years, like the beginning of last year, there's a lot of frustrations. But the one thing we've seen, because these games share an engine, I would imagine that whatever we see in Madden, in terms of this gameplay listing we see here, would also probably be in college football to at least some degree. But I do have to admit that I panic a little bit when I see new short yardage mechanics, because as I think about it, this makes me think that we're going to see the tush push in Madden. I am desperately hoping we don't see it, because QB sneaks are already a little tough to stop, and a lot of us found ways to do it. But if the tush push is in the game, online games will be something else. And then lastly, we'll talk about Superstar Mode, because they are getting what is called an expanded GOAT career journey, which means basically nothing to us right now. It's a pretty vague line on the whole page, but again, going into June 4th, I am pretty excited. We've already seen that Superstar Mode and Road to Glory, between these two games, have been connected pretty well. I've been expecting them to push both of these modes to be a little bit closer as years go on, and I just want to see what they're doing, because I think they're going in the right direction. So if we put it all together here, we've got two different covers that lead. Caleb Williams making Bears history, the college covers already starting fights for a lot of different reasons, and the betas landing in the first 2 weeks of June. I think there is a lot of fun stuff here, and the vast majority of what leaked is fantastic news. But the thing I'm going to be watching the hardest on the 4th isn't a cover or a release date, it's Rainmaker. Is EA really about to lock out a piece of Dynasty mode behind a membership, and is it the NIL system that we've all been begging for? Because that one answer tells you what kind of year this is going to be for that mode, and honestly, that matters the most. Every single time some information drops for any sports game, I'm going to be the one that covers it for you, so drop it in the comments and
Well, it looks like that's gonna be the end of the video, but yeah, not gonna lie, it's looking promising. Hopefully it delivers. Hopefully, I'm praying it does. Sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, I wish you can go back to the glory days, like PlayStation 2s and the Xbox. But once Mutt took off, they stopped giving. I'm not blaming Mutt. It's the company fault. Once Mutt took off, they said fuck everything else. It actually took for the fans to say something, to actually get something trending on Twitter for them to actually start giving a fuck. Anyway, man, that's gonna be the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Other than that, I'm gone.
Phone call like ring, 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 hello, ring, 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 hello, ring, 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 hello, ring, 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 hello, ring, ring, ring.